to see them right here in the top 4 and have a possibility of making it to the grand finals, I must imagine how excited these players have to be. And BKT, I have to say, they have impressed us ever since coming in, making it out for the group stages for one of the first times they actually did it again this season, or the split. And they've really shown that they are a top-tier team in the GPL right now.
That's the thing, right? Because BKT has been given a lot of flack for being a continued team in the GPL, of course. They only got in because of the regional allowances, and people are saying how, with BKT in the GPL, that takes away the spot of a very good Taiwanese team. Well, now they've shown that they're a team who have improved quite a lot over the years and actually shown up to play and win the GPL this split.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe it's all the practice they've been through, maybe it's the struggles and the hardship, but they're looking like a championship caliber team right now. Let's move over to IG Legends. IG Legends have players who are just veterans in the scene. I mean, we talk about their jungler, we talk about their top laner. They are no stranger to the competitive scene. They are no stranger to Vietnam. Two of them have lost twice in Vietnam.
I'm very unfortunate.
1 game away from the championship title, 1 game away from the regional qualifiers, and very unfortunate. Right now, they have 1 more hurdle to climb before they reach the grand finals, and that's going to be the Bangkok Titans. I mean, Hungry Kid, talk to me about, what do you think IG Legends can bring to
on your
this
screen
one?
there, IG Legends, as a team, very experienced, the top laner LY4, previously from the Singapore Sentinels together with Hallelujah. And these are the pillars of IGL. They are the players to watch out for. They're the ones creating the action. And of course, the bot lane, Valkyrie and Rapier, very solid players. Every time we cast their games, they're always in the stadium early before everyone else, just practicing together, making sure they get their synergy down, able to take on whatever opponents throw at them. And of course, in the mid lane, Rune, I want to say that 5.6 is definitely his patch because he's such a flexible player. And they'll be looking to throw a big challenge to BKT and say, come and 3-0 us.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the message to send here, especially for these veteran players, number one, let's talk about the bot lanes. Rune and Valkyrie, not Rune and Valkyrie, but Valkyrie and Rapier here, they are known to play the winning lanes.
Yeah, they are by far the most aggressive bot lane in the GPL, by far. Because when I say that, they like to go for those kill lanes. They'll go for stuff like Graves Morgana, Graves Leona, even Graves Braum to a certain point. And I think it's because Graves is Valkyrie's most comfortable champion, and that's where they can find 1v1 kills, 2v2 kills very simply.
And it fits in the meta so well now. Kalista, another strong pick in the AD carry role. Should expect to see some picks or bans possibly. Silver might rear her head up a little bit. We will have to see. And as you're talking about this, bans and picks all underway. Zed, Sion, and Jarvan being taken away.
So the interesting thing here is Zed is a normal ban you always take away from G4. He's so good on that champion, very comfortable, able to carry BKT quite easily, and taking Sion away is a targeted pick because Insidious Gaming Legends, Hallelujah, has played that in the jungle as a flex pick, and I think BKT don't really want to deal with that, so they just take that out of the pool immediately, and Sejuani as well for Hallelujah. So 2 jungle bans, 3 jungle bans now in the form of Jarvan as well. For 7X, very big focus on that pool right there.
Yeah, that's right. Zac being taken away, so very heavily jungle focus. This means that Graves is open for both BKT and IG Legends. Will BKT take it on the first cycle? That's a very big question.
Well, IGL are going to take this away for Valkyrie. And I believe the response here for 7X should be that Rek'Sai, together with champions like, Vladimir, like Hecarim, because Hecarim is such a strong pick now in 5.6. It'll be a shame if Warlock doesn't pick that up. So I think the next 2 picks by right, Hecarim and Rek'Sai, just lock it in.
Again, we were speculating if IG Legends were willing to give G4 that Z pick because Vladimir has just seen such a resurgence in the 5.6 patch, can do the top lane, can hold himself with very good mid laners as well, and we talk about G4. Just if you leave Z open, you're just almost certainly going to lock that one in. And if you know that G4 is going to be playing Z, you could easily just pick Vladimir into Z in the mid lane, deals with the split push, deals with the late game very well. We're not going to see that, so we will have to see what G4 can pick up. We know that he plays a very mean LeBlanc. Will IGL take that away from him, or will BKT take it in this first rotation? Very difficult, the very first pick for G4 in the first place.
The thing is, you don't want to pick up the mid lane so early on in your rotation because you can actually defer that to counter pick as your last pick on purple side, or red side, excuse me. So in this case, they're going to take away the Maokai and the Lucian. I don't like the Lucian to Graves because Lucian, honestly, just a weaker version of Graves, but Maokai for Warlock. As a player, he's been on his best performance when he's playing those tanky engagers for BKT.
Exactly. He's really good on that Maokai. IG Legends here, I actually expect the LeBlanc Morgana instantly here. I mean, it's gonna be that instant reply, and I would be surprised if they go for anything else. You want to deny the LeBlanc away from G4, and hey, we just talked about it. Graves Morgana, expect the kill at level 2 if Rapier hits a binding.
And the thing is, Insidious Gaming Legends, they started out as a team specializing in the pick compositions. That's their RE Morgana, their LeBlanc Morgana, that's their bread and butter composition. So when they do get that, sometime around 20 minutes, you start to see people from BKT dropping left, right, center to easy pickups from IGL.
Wow. Okay, we've got the Nidalee lock-in here as well. This is actually really interesting. Nidalee has sort of fallen off and then come back into the meta again. And what do you think about the Nidalee pick here by IG Legends?
Nidalee jungle is honestly one of the strongest early pressure junglers now, in combination with Rek'Sai. But the issue is that you have no pure tank in the form of your jungler now, because most of the tanks come from the jungler building the Cinderhawk enchantment. So Insidious Gaming Legends, this might signal that they might be going for that Smite TP top laner that can go for the Cinderhawk. Additionally, they might go for the tanky mid laner in the form of something like an Urgot, or even just hardcore straight up tank like a Cho'Gath.
Yeah, that's right. You got no Scion available for LY4 as well. They might go for a siege comp as well. I mean, looking at Nidalee, Grave's not the best champion for sieging. We might see a Rubble here for that wave clear, for that additional pressure, for the pick potential, long range initiation as well. BKT here look like they're going for some sort of protect the AD carry comp. You've got your Maokai, you've got your Nunu and the Lulu here. I actually did not expect BKT to play such a composition. We talked about the fact that earlier, before we even got into the pick and bans, we were talking off air. BKT not the best team fighting team.
Yeah, they honestly can't position that well in fights and get the good engages that they want. So it's a bit tricky when they want a team fight. Going for a steroid AD carry composition, not something BKT should go for. And
in addition to that, I'm very surprised that they don't lock in G4's comfort picks here, allowing IGL to possibly steal that away. And when you think about the Bangkok Titans, you think G4, you think Warlock, you don't really think Lloyd and Valen all the time. And we'll see how Lloyd actually performs with his Lucian pick.
Yeah, in my mind, Lloyd and Valen are like Valkyrie and Rapier, but a weaker version, because as a 2v2 lane as well, they're kind of aggressive, but they don't have as good as mechanics as compared to Valkyrie and Rapier.
They're not as bloodthirsty as well.
So here, hovering over the LeBlanc and the Leona, it could be the mid lane Morgana then, this mid lane, top lane Morgana then in this case for LY4. So they want to put a lot more protection onto Valkyrie's Graves to allow him to get into a bit of a risky position in team fights and blow a target up. They have a lot of upfront burst, but a lot of AP damage as well. But this is something Insidious Gaming Legends really good at doing. They like to mix their damage up and force the enemy to itemize very inefficiently.
Yeah, what I like about these few picks right now, especially with this Morgana flex here, is that LY4 is going to easily wave clear. And when it comes to the late game, and you look at the Bangkok Titans team comp right now, they have next to no wave clear outside of that Lulu, outside of that Lucian here. And IGL has the ability to actually match them. But in the mid game, we talk about their pick potential, you talk about their power spikes. They're gonna start picking people left, right, and center. They have the Leona, they've got the LeBlanc, they've got the Graves, the Nidalee, the Morgana is just gonna start opening up the map really, really quickly. And BKT here, going for that late game comp, very worried in that very first style of picks here. I'm not entirely sure how effective BKT can use this team composition.
Yeah, BKT also going for the double AP composition. It was the flex Lulu pick going into the support role. And G4 on Cassiopeia. We have seen him play Cassiopeia in the first week of Group Stage 2 of the Greener Spring Split 2015. He picked that up and was a very convincing, dominating performance. Of course, when they pick up this Cassiopeia, BKT likes to go for the early skirmishes and fights. So this is what they do with the Nunu together. They get some early vision down, start going in for invades, and call G4 over, get the poison stacks up very quickly, and start to do damage, hit the mid game, and then go in for those bigger fights.
Yeah, absolutely right there, Hungry Kid. It's going to be really, really interesting, but right before we get into the game, let's take a look at one of the teams here and how they have done in the GPL. Alright, welcome to Summoner's Rift. If you guys are just joining us, this is ISG Legends going up against the Bangkok Titans in semi-final number 2 of the GPL 2015 spring season. We are all underway and this is going to be a heck of a best of 5. I'm really excited to see what's going on
Yeah,
here.
both teams playing for their spot in the finals here, going up against Saigon Fantastic 5 tomorrow. They want to get that spot, they want to be able to contest for the throne here. BKT grouping up as 5 in the top tri-brush. They might want to get down an early ward, but Hallelujah might spot them out here.
Ooh.
Spear sails past, but it's a ward in the tri-brush and the early invade from BKT denied. IGL know that they're here though, so Spear will signal to 7X that we know they're there.
Yeah, do you think 7X will go with that max consume counter jungling Nunu style or go with that early lane pressure blood ball Nunu?
I honestly think the max consume is much better because BKT has a composition that allows them to get in really deep into the jungle. Of course, early on Warlock is going to be so useful in these skirmishes because he can heal up a lot of the damage done, and Rune, however, taking a bit of damage, but as a jungler now, the consume is much better because when you do consume those big minions, you get extra health bonus, and together with the Cinderhawk enchantment, it becomes very efficient.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Valen and Lloyd as well, going for that tactic here where you really want to just gain the aggro of minions and start freezing the lane. They've opted for the lane swap here. What do you think about this decision?
Yeah, this is smart. They don't have to go against the stronger 2v2 of Valkyrie and Rapier. Not sure if they got the bot freeze going down. If they didn't, that's going to be very disastrous for IGL, of course. It seems like they did get the bot freeze. Oh, no, they did not get the bot freeze. Yeah. So the minion did die late, and BKT's wave is going to be pushing in here. So that means that Warlock can teleport down and get the EXP once it resets.
That's right. I actually do expect to see the counter jungler hammer very close there. LY4 is the one that actually picks up the blue buff here, so that's going to be somewhat of a deny there on to Hallelujah by Valen. The support there, running interference, and look at that 7X. Let's see, is that Warlock as well?
Yeah.
No, Warlock and Valen running interference in the counter jungle.
Yeah, just like we said, it's already begun. The early jungling interference and just the early skirmishing that they want to look for BKT is on point, and this forces IGL to respond a bit harder. Of course, here in the bot lane, Valkyrie can just shove up the wave and deny that away from Warlock, force a dive because they have 3 members in the bot side, so they can actually pressure that lane out very hard. They can even go for Dragon here and trade the early objective for the lane presence that they've lost, in as well as the jungle presence they lost.
Yeah, I just want to add another thing here. IGL is going to have a 3 buff start just because they BKT kind of gave up their own blue buff.
Yeah, they will get the 3 buff start here. 7X is going to find his blue buff missing and perhaps find LY4 around the area. Hallelujah, take him very low. Has to be careful here.
Nice hop out of that one. BKT here kind of going on the aggression but not keeping their flanks in check. IGL gonna make use of that, and Hallelujah, despite losing the blue buff early on and giving it to LY4, gets a blue buff of his own.
Yeah, so Valkyrie responds by shoving up the wave, but Warlock is here. Didn't have to blow the teleport to get down. It's gonna get all this experience for free, whereas the wave is still frozen for Lloyd in the top lane. So LY4 is gonna continue double jungling. I think in this instance, IGL may have been better off going for a top laner with the smite so they can double jungle more efficiently, but nonetheless still doing a very good job early on.
Yeah, if the smite comes out from the top laner, we'll talk about it, but I'm sure you have seen that Shyvana in the top lane running the teleport smite. Making use of the Cinderhawk in 5.6 is just so good right now. Do you think Bangkok Titans will have a disadvantage IGL will have a disadvantage based on the smite items itself? I mean, Cinderhawk is just the so-called quote-unquote OP item right now.
The tricky situation is hold on here. Valkyrie going for engage.
Warlock actually taking quite a bit of damage. Rapier eats a tower shot in the face, but they're just gonna play bully it out. I mean, in 2v1 lane, you kind of do expect that to happen.
Yeah, but the issue is Maokai is one of the top-tier top laners because of his ability to stay healthy in these engages, and he can farm from far and clear the waves pretty well with the Arcane Smash. So Warlock is definitely going to get a lot more experience compared to LY4. When he hits level 6, that's a big issue when they switch back the lanes.
Yeah, you can see the level difference already here. LY4 still sitting at level 2, Warlock at level 4 already. Hallelujah as well as LY4 coming on in to the Scuttle Crab. Very interesting to see what they'll do here. Get spotted out by Ward as well.
Yeah, they wanted to go for a mid lane gank, I believe, but 7X around the corner and the ward will spot them out. The response here from BKT is sound though. They are swooping around the corner, trying to get the collapse onto Hallelujah. He has to be very careful here.
Wow, very aggressive. posturing here from ISG Legends. Even Rapier has made his way down to the mid lane. G4 playing it out a little bit safe here. Valkyrie can hold his own in that solo lane. Lloyd here, you see, he has just been given all the time in the world on his own island in the top to just farm it out.
Yeah, that's some very good pressure they put onto G4, but despite all that, it's a Cassiopeia who's going to be scaling up with the poison stack, so not too much loss there. BKT can just sit tight in the mid lane and farm up a storm. G4 going to hit his tier in his next recall. Oh, the flash out. Now catching Rune there, has to distortion away, and that's a flash ultimate being blown by BKT now. G4 very vulnerable to the gank that comes by. Soon he has to recall here or face the punishment coming in from IGL.
Yeah, can Hallelujah kind of show us how good he is on the Nidalee ganks? The idea here is that you want to get the hunt on, empower your leap and just go for a big one.
Yeah, but G4 is doing such a good job bullying LeBlanc out. Rune has no reply. He can't close the distance despite G4 being shoved up so
Rapier's
hard.
making his way down as well.
Rapier is coming down, but so is 777X, and this is a big top wave minion that's being denied.
Culling comes out from Lloyd here. LY4 was still very, very healthy, goes there to push out the wave, and BKT here kind of foiling IGL in their own plans. They know that they're not going to win the lanes in a standard lane, and they kind of played the map rather well, or at least played their lane swaps quite well here.
Yeah, but the thing is, they denied a lot of experience away from LY4. In that case, you normally would want to send your jungle up top, or at least your support, to ensure that the enemy doesn't dive you. They weren't able to do that, and LY4 missed out on a lot of experience.
Hallelujah takes a little bit of damage as well. BKT here, I would say, no kills, no turrets, based on CS, up 600 gold.
This is a very good early game coming from BKT in terms of wave management and just getting the freeze, lane swap advantage. It all comes down to the early freeze and the map movements that they put in to the blue side jungle of IGL now. If they do ensure that they get this dragon, it's going to be an even bigger lead for BKT.
Oh yeah, it's huge. Seeing that both the support as well as the jungler were in the top lane, this just opens up the entire bottom half of the map to BKT. And you've got 777X and a great single target damage mage in the form of G4 on Cassiopeia. Easy dragon, 8 minutes into the game. Dragon number 1 goes to BKT.
Yeah, that should not have happened, especially the fact that when you lane swap, your AD carry and support is in the bottom side. So you actually have the dragon control, but BKT were able to find the window that IGL availed themselves to and get the early dragon now.
Yeah, we'll have to see what BKT decides to do to kind of push this lead. I mean, we talked about their team composition. It's very much that, you know, kind of pseudo Juggernaut, very, you know, copyrighted on that Lucian right now. But
the Thai version.
Yeah, the Thai version of it. And what we have here is that BKT might not be able to use their abilities right now. Oh, there we go, the flash Xenoblade, and we will have that gank. G4 is most certainly going down here. Hallelujah takes so much damage. The teleport is actually cancelled from Warlock. LY4 responds with his own in-kind, pushes down the mid lane wave. Not sure they can get a turret out of this one. They don't have Dragon to transition into either, but First Blood goes over to IG Legends.
Yeah, that was completely fine going through with the teleport. LY4 had the wave shoved up, and that forces Warlock to take the long path around now and walk down to defend this. Of course, Valen is around to use the Glitter Lance to wave clear, but 4 members strong, they could get this tier 1 turret if they press the matter, and they probably will here.
Warlock has to flash away from this one here. And there we go, Rapier diving in a little too deep off the Zenith Blade now. He will go down. They do get that 1 turret though, but now the pressure is on to IG Legend side.
Yeah, they managed to get the early First Blood gold as well as the turret gold. That puts them ahead by 500, but IGL playing a bit sloppy there. Rapier went in, but not the rest of the members from IGL, so bit of a communication issue. 777X finds Hallelujah out here. He has no mana. Nidalee is a bit in trouble here.
Yeah, we'll have to see. He actually turns it around a little. Iceball will not come back anytime soon, so he's gonna be a little safe now. If 777X was actually buddied with someone else, that would have been a dead Nidalee in the jungle.
Yeah, that's a big issue with Nunu because of how much of a presence you are in the jungle. Your 1v1 potential not as strong though.
Yeah, Cinderhawk has already been completed, the enchantment at least, for the side of Nunu here on BKT. They even up the turret in the top lane as well. That was the amount of time that you actually saw Lloyd doing damage to that turret, and Lloyd now doing damage in the bottom half of the map. BKT is playing this map exceptionally well.
Yeah, Rapier goes in for some damage on double 7x, tries to take away the small Krug, but at the end of the day, it is the Nunu that controls the jungle. If you take a look at the top lane item differentials, LY4 only Endurance Ring and the Amplifying Tomb, and that's because of all the EXP that was denied earlier on. The culling used by Lloyd to shove him off the wave, and now Warlock is so far ahead, they swap back the lanes, and this is going to be a tough time for LY4 here.
Yeah, has LY4 actually caught up in levels? It doesn't seem like that's the case. Level 6 to level 7 here. Warlock should be getting his next level soon. He's one more creep away, so still that 2-level differential between the top laners of the Singapore and Thai squad here.
That is completely fine because of how the experience system works. When you're slightly behind, it works harder to get you up.
Yeah. That's still... BKT very much can get ready for the next dragon. 8 minutes was when the first dragon got taken down. We should see dragon respawn in another 2 more minutes or so.
Now the tricky thing for IGL is they have to find a person to pick off before the fight starts, because their composition not as strong in a team fight as compared to BKT, so they have to pick someone off if they want to succeed and claim objectives. However, with Valen's Lulu around, a wild growth will stop that from happening very simply, and even the barrier onto G4 here.
You're absolutely right. Now, Lulu's very much the antithesis of the anti-pick-comp champion. Have Lulu around your squishiest champion or whoever's about to get picked off, press R, and basically that pick-comp just blew all the cooldowns on that one champion.
Yeah, and IGL have to find a way to dive into the backlines, which is really tough if they want to kill someone. The siege coming in from BKT, really solid 5 members here. Blood Boil constantly onto G4, so he can get into range to spam his noxious blasts in the mid lane.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that Blood Boil actually grants you movement speed as well, and that works so well onto G4. 777X might get caught out, but he has that Cinderhawk enchantment, he has a Ruby Crystal as well, he has a lot of health.
Yeah, he doesn't even need movement speed boots coming in because of the buff from Blood Boil, so very strong stats being granted early on to 777X.
Yeah, maxing out the Blood Boil first, so the question whether he was going for the Consume or the Blood Boil, he definitely goes for the Blood Boil. Gives BKT so much map pressure all across the lanes.
And if you think about this Nunu pick in context of 777X, this is a jungler who's not very good mechanically, but he's such a smart player, so you give him Nunu, someone that can control the jungle. Don't really have to do a lot of button pressing. All you have to do is Blood Boil and use the Ice Blast, and you basically do your job as a jungler. So
you're right.
I think BKT have found the solid champion for 777X in
at least
series.
in this team comp.
Yeah.
It's really good. 777X here can do quite a good job. Oh, the culling now comes out from Lloyd. Valkyrie getting chunked down to about 1/3 of his HP. Has to use that primal surge there to get him back up. Topped up to about half health. We will have to see BKT here on the offensive now. The ball is in their court. Can they continue pressuring onto IGL and take this first game away from them?
BKT once again claiming back the gold lead with the 2 turrets to 1 that IGL has. However, constantly getting bullied out. Has to go for the Seeker's Arm Guard as well as the Abyssal previously. So itemizing very defensively early on. Not a lot of AP, but can stay alive in fights to get the Soul Shackles off.
Fight might break out here on the second dragon. IG Legends roughly have vision on it. Their wall actually just expired there. Or at least the Scuttle Crab just expired there. It's going to be BKT with the vision control in the bottom half of the map. It was going to be IGL with vision control, and BKT lacking the vision control a little bit in the bottom half of the map. So we will have to see blue buff being taken away right now by Bangkok Titans. That's going to be gifted to G4. If a team fight actually breaks out, almost everyone has their ultimates up. It's going to be very big.
This is good for IGL though, because they have a lot of vision around the area. They should be setting up a vision trap here and try to make picks though. Instead, they are just shoving out the mid wave despite the turret being down. A bit of a sloppy play in terms of area control.
Rune. Can Rune get away from this one? The Ice Blast does slow him down. Uses the double distortion right now. Polymorph comes out, turns him into a critter there. And right now, BKT just asserting their authority in the bottom half of the map. They haven't cleared out a lot of the wards that IG Legends have put down, and this is going to be a good 1-2 minutes of that vision control. Can IGL contest this dragon though?
Yeah, a bit too much hubris coming from IGL, thus they lose vision control here, and they will lose second dragon unless they decide to fight here. I don't think they should go in onto this though, IGL. 2000 health is the dragon, they should be able to and get away with this. BKT gets the dragon.
Flare is opened as well. This might be a turnaround here. 77X will be looking for the ice ball. Flashes on in. They want to eat up Rapier and you, of course, can't consume a champion. Still, Rapier does get eaten up by the entire team of Bangkok Titans.
Yeah, with that support Leona going down, there goes the hard engage that IGL wants to use to force against this turret siege, so they have to give this away now. 3 turrets and 2 dragons early on. BKT looking very good for this first game.
Pretty decent wave clear coming out from IG Legends though. I mean, not the best just yet. The mages haven't gotten the items yet. And a very risky wave clear to come on in. LY4 does damage over time. This turret is definitely going to go down. And right now, Bangkok Titans take it up to 3,000 gold.
Yeah, the problem is you never want to use the distortion to wave clear, because with the Lulu and the Maokai, they could actually polymorph you or Twister advance you and root you in place, so it's very risky. Hold on here.
Double Zernex gonna go down here. The Wild Growth does save him. Rapier comes on back. Right now, the collateral damage does not land, and there we go. Double Petrifying Gaze coming out onto G4. You've got LY4 with that big flash on in. Roots for people. Everyone is still alive on the side of the Bangkok Titans. That was a horrendous outcome for IG Legends, and you got a great play coming out from G4, locking down both LY4 as well as Valkyrie in their place, saving 77X and turning it around for 3 kills.
Yeah, I have to think that if IGL was a bit more coordinated, they would have been able to sweep up BKT and get an ace there, and even transition that into a bit more of map control or vision control in the jungle. Instead, they went at different timings. Rapier went in first to secure the kill, and the Wild Growth there just did so much work for BKT.
Yeah, you're right. I have to say as well, they did not actually layer them. Valkyrie a little too trigger happy. The collateral damage actually, I think, missing just about everybody. That could have been a good setup for LY4 to just root all the 4 of them, and imagine if Valkyrie had his collateral damage at that time.
Yeah, very, very misconstrued fight there, and piling a lot of the damage onto 77X. IGL showing a bit of desperation now in this first game in the best of 5.
Showing a bit of the weakness that they used to have when they fell behind early here. Rune now getting chased away by Lloyd, the culling just appearing and completely chunking it out. Wow, the turnaround! Lloyd's gonna go down to Rapier and his Solar Flare. That was a bit too greedy coming out from BKT here. Lloyd thinking that he can solo down the LeBlanc. The moment Rune turns the corner, he turns it around and dumpsters every single skill, bursting him down to just within range of Rapier's ultimate.
Both teams taking turn to overreach here. First it was IGL, now it was BKT, so small window of respite being given to IGL. Still 4,000 gold behind though. No laughing matter for the Singaporean side. BKT have picked up the Abyssal Scepter as well as the Infinity Edge and Zeus, so those are very big ticket items that will help BKT in the next fight if they want. They should, however, wait for the Righteous Glory coming in from Warlock, because if they can force the fight, Righteous Glory into a Wild Growth, into a Petrifying Gaze, that should be
hallelujah, the Ice Ball, the Polymorph, the Glitter Lance is all gonna come out. Hallelujah tries to eat up the Scuttle Crab. Can he get away from this though? The Smite comes out from 77X. He manages to get it with the Raw and the heal. Will be jumping all across the map. Hallelujah's great escape will be denied by Loy. He goes down. Hallelujah is gonna give the kill away to the Bangkok Titans. Good push coming out from Rune in the meantime though. Can IGL get more out of this one after that great escape?
Good job there, maximizing the time spent and resources spent on trying to find a kill onto Hallelujah. Yeah, that was the absolute zero, even being blown there by 77X. So both teams here trying their best to edge each other out. The blue buff gonna go over to 77X here, I should believe, if not at least Warlock or Lloyd.
Yeah, Lloyd gonna take that one away. Hungry Kid. I mean, it's pretty obvious at the moment. The ball is still in the Bangkok Titans' court. Can IGL steal the momentum back with a pick comp that they have, which hasn't really been working? We haven't seen it being executed just yet.
They have to start emphasizing the final points of their composition. Oh, hold on here.
Oh, Rapier coming in with that Solar Flare. We will see the Twister advance. Rapier going down really low. The collateral damage. You've got Root coming in from the flanks. Can he get away alive from this one? No. It's going to be the Wild Growth being used on the Lulu here. They try to burst down Valen before he can actually do anything in that team fight, but they're going to give away the kill to the Bangkok Titans. They were the ones to start the fight this time, but they couldn't come out clean from that one.
Yeah, Flash, Solar Flare tried to catch 3 members, but only caught the edge of Warlock in that last one. And with that big ultimate down, IGL can't really find the picks that they need. It's the issue with this composition. If you set the vision up and you deny vision from your opponent, you have to sit around the area and hope that someone walks in. You can't necessarily force team fights unlike BKT can, and this is where IGL is falling behind.
Yeah, you've got really big tanks coming out. Warlock and 7X. On top of that, the Lulu. Hallelujah might go down a second time here to Lloyd. Valkyrie tries to take something back, but Rapier, without his solar flare, can only use the Zenith Blade for initiation. And I don't think they have enough vision on the side of BKT to know if they had backup waiting in the wings.
If you ask many of the pros about 5.6, how Cinderhawk relates to the whole game, the reason why it's so strong is not because of the free stats it gives, it's because it turns you into a utility monster no matter how far behind you fall. As long as you're in the fight, you're outputting damage and you'll always be tanky in the fight, because if you fall off, it's still fine to have a meat shield for your team to block, and that's what 7X is.
Yeah, absolutely right. We will have to see here. IG Legends up against, with their backs against the wall right now, I have to say. They are 4,000 gold down. Their pick composition that has to shine in this stage of the game where the map starts to open up is absolutely in the dark right now. They're looking for one onto G4 though. Can they get it? There we go. Easy kill, easy picks there. G4 had absolutely no vision in the area. Had no business in the bottom lane at all. Dragon number 3 though, going up for the Bangkok Titans. Can Hallelujah get the steal? No, he does not. Will be looking to jump out of that one. They want to force a fight here. Hallelujah with the flash. Rapier jumping in the Zenith Blade. LY4 will be able to land the binding though. Drops on in the Absolute Zero, actually not doing a lot of damage at all. Valkyrie with the chase there. 7X just taking bit by bit a little bit of damage here. We've got the counter teleport coming in from Warlock. Warlock will have his Twisted Advance available. We'll try to chase onto Rune, the double distortion. There we go, actually baits Warlock into that area. Lloyd can actually easily hop over the wall from this one. The Ethereal Chase coming out. They're gonna chase on in. Warlock and 7X so tanky, but the damage is big from IG Legends. They're gonna turn it around with the crowd control. Way too greedy from the Bangkok Titans, and IGL punishes them extremely hard.
Yeah, Rune was the MVP of that fight, stopping for a while to bait Warlock in with the Twisted Advance, went over the wall, and the rest of BKT were like, well, do we go now? IGL all on the same page, just turned and wiped them up. Of course, they almost got Warlock, but they managed to pick up 7X, and they're slowly clawing their way back in. BKT falling behind just by a bit in terms of decision making there. They had the vision, but not necessarily on the same page.
Okay, so here's the plus points that's been happening in the game. IG Legends were really, their backs were against the wall. I just said it, and they turned things around. That 4k deficit now drops down to 3k, small win in their part. BKT, however, gets the third dragon of the game, and they are a team fighting comp.
Yeah. 2
dragons away from just going with the aspect of the dragon becoming so huge. IGL right now, they are facing a ticking time bomb.
They are. They have to get at least 1 dragon to deny away the 5 dragon win condition that BKT has. Especially with the fact that Lloyd has gone for the Phantom Dancer team fight build. It's very dangerous now. Hallelujah might get spotted out. There are 5 members in that brush, but they don't know that IGL completely blind. They spot Warlock walking out here. Rune might be in a bit of a trouble situation.
Rune should be able to get away from this one. I actually want to add, they actually knew that BKT was in that brush because of the Scuttle Crab. The Scuttle Crab did not move at all, and somehow, you know, Hallelujah and the entire BKT team were in a perfect position in which the Scuttle Crab was like in the middle of them both, and the Scuttle Crab didn't know where to go. So it's like...
pathing OP.
Yeah. Scuttle Crab's like, where do I run now?
So IGL catch a break there. I want to say
small break.
Small break there for their troubles now. BKT still ahead, 3,000 gold. It's been close. The gap has been closed quite a bit. Seraph's Embrace being completed onto G4. Parts and pieces of every item onto Warlock. So it's a lot of health, a lot of magic resist, a lot of armor, and a lot of cooldown reduction, but still no big item, no big ticket item being completed. Means that BKT don't really have the forced fight that they want. Normally when you want to get Rod of Ages, you'd have it 10 minutes ago. So it should be the Righteous Glory coming in from Warlock. When they get it though, it's a different story.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Right now, the goal lead is still about 3,000 gold in Bangkok Titans' favor. This blue buff's definitely going to go over to them once again. I think in the entire game, IGL only got 1 of their blue buffs.
Which is important because they have 3 mana-intensive champions. You have
Yeah,
the Morgana, the LeBlanc, and the Nidalee. All of them really need a cooldown reduction to be more useful, and this is Bangkok Titans issuing this challenge, doing the Baron here.
They won the team fight. Baron's going down so quickly. Rapier does use his solar flare. G4, they take it down really low. Baron has been taken. Do they turn? Yes, they do. Bangkok Titans won the fight. LY4 with the Zhonya's Hourglass. Rue tries to snipe away G4, but he gets sniped away himself. IGL now on the back foot, needs to run away. Valkyrie just flashes on in, tries to get a double. Looking for the triple here. Only Hallelujah alive here. Lloyd gets the triple, and it's going to be 3 members still alive on the side of the Bangkok Titans. All 3 of them having the Baron buff there. Valkyrie, very valiant effort, knew that he was going to go down. Picked off G4, tried to pick up 7X, couldn't, but still, IGL here did a pretty good fight. Bangkok Titans forcing the issue with Baron. Fantastic call.
Yeah, I have to commend BKT, acknowledging the fact that they are a team that can take objectives very simply with the Nunu Blood Boy Consume, putting that onto Lloyd, and with G4's consistent damage with the Twin Fangs, that allows them to take big ticket objectives very simply, and they did that. They forced the challenge, and now IGL really have to be very careful because the waves are always going to be pushing in BKT's favor. They can't take bad fights now.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for that banner of command to just pop up somewhere just for fun. I mean, if BKT knows how far they are ahead right now, it was 3,000 gold. Right now, it is 7,000 or 6 to 7,000 gold that they are ahead. 7X just picked up a Warmox as well.
Yeah, he's going to be just a massive meat shield in the front line of BKT together with Warlock, and buys a lot of time for G4's Cassiopeia to start kiting around using Twin Fangs to DPS people, and Lloyd as well. With the Whimsy and the help picks, he's going to be hitting for an insane amount of damage.
Yeah, you're right. Locket of Iron Solari has been completed on the side of Valen. They respect the magic damage that is coming out from IG Legends, from Rune in particular. That's a great item pickup for the side of the Bangkok Titans as well.
This is the power point for BKT. They have hit their peak here. They should start going in for these fights, or at least forcing these fights. IGL doing a very good job of clearing the waves, and Rune just putting down damage with the Distortion, Sigil of Malice, and Mimic to chunk members of BKT down.
Let's see how things are going to turn out. It's going to be that Baron buff taking down the first inner turret of the game here for the side of the Bangkok Titans. They're going to start pushing in on this inhibitor turret. Can they get it? I mean, they have such a good team for taking down. Ooh, Warlock does get caught out a little bit here. Rapier takes a bit of damage. He has the cannon minion. Rune looking for the flank right now.
If you think about it, the spear is not finding the intended targets because 7X and Warlock are just in the front line blocking them away from G4 and Lloyd, and that's been a big problem. IGL wants to poke people down before they go in to finish them off with the LeBlanc and Graves. Without being able to do that, they can't always go in on the fights.
Yeah, Hallelujah here does pick up the Mingus Enchantment as well as the Rod of Ages, so we'll have to see how he does on this Nidalee. Like you said, not finding those spear targets. Dragon number 4, I don't think IGL can even contest this one at all, and BKT on the cusp of having the aspect of the dragon right now. And if you thought that it was difficult for them to clear waves earlier, now it's just going to be so much easier with the dragon dominance buff.
Top wave pushing for IGL, and one more buff, as you mentioned, away from steamrolling this game. BKT just have to be patient and wait, not get caught out, not get picked off, and stay as a death ball unit to pick up the 5th dragon and finish it off.
I also have to point out that both LY4 and Rune has picked up Abyssal Scepters here, and it is not just an item that prevents them from actually getting those. It's like a band-aid item.
Yeah.
They can't get the big ticket not Rod of Ages, they can't get the big ticket death cap items, the needlessly large items here. So they have to use a band-aid sort of strategy with whatever gold they have, and right now it's really hurting them because if you take a look at the itemization of the Bangkok Titans, they don't have the outright power to kind of burst through the tanks that the Bangkok Titans are having. Spirit Visage, Frozen Heart, Warmox armor, all coming up big for BKT.
If you're wondering why LY4 actually has a comparative amount of CS in terms of top lane, it's because they took away a lot of CS from Valkyrie and Rune. Their counterparts have so much more CS than them. They channeled a lot of the gold onto this Morgana, hoping to get her Zhonya's Hourglass that gets completed, and this is when IGL could look to find a counter engage if BKT goes in too deep, but that's their only way of winning these fights. They have to pray that BKT overcommits, find a good Soul Shackles or a Solar Flare and turn the fight around.
They need to do it before the next Baron or Dragon comes back. This is very important. The next 4 minutes will be a do or die moment for ISG Legends, because once the Dragon buff comes out, the aspect of the Dragon or the Baron buff, it's gonna be BKT steamrolling their way past all these turrets and getting even more gold on their side.
Interesting that Warlock hasn't even completed anything out of that Catalyst the Protector. Instead going for that full Frozen Heart and the Spirit Visage.
He's going full value, man. Catalyst on the Protector, every time you level up, you gain back health. You're still gonna keep getting it.
And that was how he stayed so healthy in the 1v2 as well. Siege being set up by BKT here. No more Baron buff, but that's not gonna matter to them. Every time Lloyd casts a spell, he'll have a chance to auto attack onto the turret twice.
Wow, look
and
at
he's
that.
taking it down very quickly.
Yeah, they're gonna just brute force their way past this one. 777X sitting on about 3.5 or 3.6 thousand health right now. It is time. It really is time for IGL to turn it around. BKT understand this. They're gonna back off, set up vision around the Baron that's gonna respawn in 1 minute. And like I said, the moment they pick up Baron, they're just gonna start steamrolling.
Yeah, they're gonna set up vision and then back off here, pick up the next round of items and fight at their full force. 8,000 gold ahead is the Thai side.
It's gonna be very risky business for IG Legends. They need to get a vision. They need to get a pick. Problem now, it's already the 30-minute mark, and the Bangkok Titans here aren't gonna be wandering alone. They have no sort of split push strategy this game. They don't need a split push strategy this game. And all they need to do, stick together, have Lulu, have Nunu, have Maokai, be the front line, be the ones that can be tanky, and G4 and Lloyd can just safely hit it from behind.
Yeah, it was smart for 777X to stick around and pick up the Scuttle Crab, so that means IGL can't sneak the Baron away without BKT knowing. And that buys them a bit of space to go on into the jungle of IGL and get some vision down. The movement speed gonna come in very healthy, or rather, excuse me, very useful as well when you want to kite around these fights.
I really like what they're doing. They being BKT, they have committed IGL to putting resources in the top half of the map, and they say, okay, if you're gonna put resources in the top half of the map, we're just gonna go to the bottom half of the map, easy.
Yeah, this is very smart here. BKT sends Warlock to the bot lane to create a slow push, a 6-man if you will, and start shoving the wave out. Of course, he has the teleport, so he'll be able to join the fight by teleporting behind. You could see the ward just placed there at the blue.
Choke out all vision.
Yeah, choke out all the vision, get a ward deep behind the flanks of IGL and have Warlock teleport in. Of course, it gets spotted out by the pink ward there, so BKT will know there's a pink ward there.
The vision control, the vision game coming up from the Bangkok Titans is huge. The idea here is to deny the pick-com vision, and that's what they're doing perfectly.
Double tanks for BKT, very strong here. Wave just gets shoved up, so IGL has to commit one member to going back and clearing that out. Should be LY4 though, because he has the teleport available.
They're gonna start Baron right now. The moment they saw an inkling of LY4 in the mid lane, they go.
Yeah, they go, and it's getting taken down very quickly now. Sub 5,000, they should be able to turn this fight around if they want to.
Oh.
It is Hallelujah who is the target.
Can they continue sieging this down though? The idea here is that they have the potential to siege, but BKT just takes Baron so fast. Oh my goodness, LY4 might get taken down here. Lloyd in a very precarious position. LY4 actually flashing away from that one. Rune will try to get away. He's gonna go down, however. Has the distortion available, but gets taken down by the culling. It's gonna be a 2-for-1 in favor of the Bangkok Titans right now, pushing away Rapier and LY4 as well as Hallelujah. They're gonna turn onto onto Baron right now. Hallelujah still very, very healthy. Might try to go for a steal though.
Yeah, but Warlock is just playing defense around the Baron pit, and this stops Hallelujah from getting in any spears or pound smites. Takes away any percentage of a steal coming from IGL. So very good defensive play from Warlock here. And I have to say, Lloyd overcommitted quite a bit there, but it was the Wild Growth that kept him healthy. Yeah. Great play by LY4 to bait him in, but at the end of the day, BKT is just so far ahead they can overpower these fights.
Yeah, exactly. And right now, it is really the brink here for ISG Legends. It is so dark right now, not only in their vision control, but in the future of this very first game in the series. It's not going to be easy for IGL to come back on this one. 5th Dragon, as well as the enhanced recall from Baron, they're going to go back. Righteous Glory has finally been picked up. You've even got the Randuin's Omen being picked up here by 777X. No one on IGL can deal with Warlock or 777X at this point of time. I mean, no one. Valkyrie doesn't have the damage, or it doesn't have enough damage to take down any one of them.
And that's why tanks are so good in 5.6. Unless you have a constant source of DPS, say,
Or percentage health
you
damage.
need percentage health damage or constant DPS to even overcome these tanks. So something like Leandri's Torment or Blade of the Ruined King will work. IGL doesn't have the tools needed to deal with these tanks, and it's just going to be a slow choke from BKT to close this game out. IGL way too far behind, 12,000 gold, 11,000 gold, 12, excuse me, can't math on stream.
Let's kind of cast our minds back to the pick and ban phase. Hallelujah was kind of banned out there by the entire BKT squad. They took away multiple tanks, and if I remember correctly, Vi was actually still open.
Yeah, Vi, Rek'Sai, even Gragas to a certain point was left open. Not too sure why they placed such a high emphasis on Nidalee, despite her being slightly weaker in this patch. 3-3-3, yes, it's a decent scoreline, but he hasn't been doing much in the game as compared to 7X.
It's not just that she's been nerfed a little bit, but the meta right now, as you can see, Warlock and 7X just brute forcing their way through.
Yeah, you pop Righteous Glory, run forward together, and there's no one on IGL side that can stop you.
Yeah, then no one at all. They are running a juggernaut composition. I mean, yes, the enchantment has disappeared, but hey, you've got Warlock on Maokai and you've got 7X on Nunu. They cannot be stopped.
Second inhibitor turret of the game, looking to go down here. He needs a binding for his troubles 7X, but it's still the second inhibitor that's gonna fall for BKT. IGL back against the ropes here. They have to pull out something if they want to stay in this game. If not, it should be the first game going over to BKT. Fifth dragon, aspect of the dragon for BKT here.
We'll see how it goes right now. The Nexus turret number 1 is gonna start falling. This will be the last moment. Collateral damage, Solar Flare, and you've got Rapier to the first one to go down. LY4 can't even initiate on that fight. They can't just kind of go back from this one. Rune just gets obliterated by Lloyd here. Spears being chucked out right now. Only Valkyrie, Hallelujah, and LY4 alive here. The Nexus turret number 1 goes down. 7X gets saved by the Wild Growth. You've got Valkyrie trying to kite back onto this one. The Nexus turret goes down. The Nexus goes down. Game number 1 goes to the Bangkok Titans.
Yeah, very dominating game by the Bangkok Titans. Great draft and great early game coming in from the Thai side. Of course, this lane swap very well done, but also the early invade from, I believe it was Valen, who just went into intercept the buff together with 7X and Warlock. Just so good.
Yeah, I mean, if we think about the entire game, we actually talked about the pick and ban phase quite a bit, even off the air, and I did not expect such a pick and ban phase to come out from ISG Legends, and the early game strategies being pulled out by the Bangkok Titans, fantastic. Choked out the mid game power spike of IGL.